Hello and welcome to my presentation. This is our correlation testing for week 4 for GRC 605-2019. My name is Robert Michael Paisley, and this is our professor, Professor Ming. The agenda for this presentation, as you can see, is that we're going to begin with the correlation testing for this assignment, and below are the different testings that we did with the data that we downloaded in the assignment. And we'll first start with some slides for income and debt, then income and savings, income and stock, income and wallet, debt and savings, debt and stocks, debt and wallet, savings and stocks, savings and wallet, and stocks and wallet. So as we went through these, we have different, we ran it through the PSPP program, and as you will see that we got our results from those, that program. Our first hypothesis test here was income versus debt, and you can see that we used the variables of income and debt, and then income had a negative 0.05 Pearson correlation with a signal two-tailed 0.35, which, as you can see in the scatter plot, that it had did not have a correlation, because the PSPP will, if it is a good correlation, will put the 0.05, the Pearson correlation, in italics number, and you would be closer to 0 on your signal tailed. So in this one, we can see that we did correlation. And so there was no significant result found, because the correlation coefficient and its p-value were calculated using PSPP, assuming that the A equals 0.05, so no significant correlation emerged with a negative 0.5 and a tail 0.535. The test failed to reject the null hypothesis and concluded there was no correlation between debt and income. Here's our second hypothesis test. We have income versus savings, and to the left you can see our correlation. Our variables are income and savings, and you can see our Pearson correlation is a 0.91 with a tail of 0.000. So here we can see on the right hand side the scatter plot graph of, if you draw a line in straight line and through there, you can see that there is an upward trend in his. So we can see as they should have a correlation. Here in this, we saw a significant result found, because the second hypothesis test, the correlation was conducted with H of 0. There's no correlation between income and savings, and H of A, there is a correlation between income and savings, or your null hypothesis or your hypothesis. The correlation coefficient and its p-value were calculated using PSPP, assuming A is equal to 0.05. A significant correlation emerged with a correlation of 0.91 and a tail of 0.00. So the test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between income and savings. Our third hypothesis test was income versus stock, and as you can see, our correlation was 0.19 with a tail of 0.018, and we do show the scatter plot graph to the right, as you can see. Here we can see a significant result was found. The significant correlation emerged with 0.19 correlation and a tail of 0.018. So the test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between income and stocks. The fourth hypothesis test, income versus wallet, and we can see a straight correlation here of 1 and a tail of 0, and to the right, as of course you can see that their straight line is produced. So here, a significant result was found. A significant correlation emerged with a correlation of 1, tail of 0. The test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between income and wallet. Fifth hypothesis test, debt versus savings. And we can see a correlation of negative 0.03 and a tail of 0.748. And then again to the right, our scatter plot, and it is all over the place. So we shall proceed to the next slide. And we have no significant result found because there was no correlation between debt and savings. And we rejected the whole hypothesis. The sixth hypothesis test was debt versus stocks. Again, our correlation is a negative 0.05 with a tail of 0.555. And to the right, you can see the scatter plot, and they're plotted everywhere. No significant result was found with a correlation of negative 0.05 and a tail of 0.55. The test failed to reject the null hypothesis and concluded there was no correlation between debt and stocks. Seventh hypothesis test, debt versus wallet. Again, our correlation is a negative 0.05, a tail of 0.533, and then the scatter plot is everywhere again. On this seventh hypothesis test, we had no significant result found. Again, the correlation negative 0.05 with a tail of 0.533. The test failed to reject the null hypothesis and concluded there was no correlation between debt and wallet. The eighth hypothesis test, savings versus stocks. Our correlation was a 0.28 with a tail of 0.000. And we can see there is a small correlation on the scatter plot graph. And so we proceed to the next slide. A significant result was found. The significant correlation emerged with a correlation of 0.28 and a tail of 0.000. The test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between savings and stocks. The ninth hypothesis test, savings versus stocks. We had a correlation of 0.91 with a tail of 0.000, and the scatter plot to the right there shows a upward trend in the correlation. So the next slide. With this slide, we see a significant result was found with a correlation of 0.91, tail of 0. The test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between savings and wallet. And the final 10th hypothesis test, stocks versus wallets. We have a correlation 0.19, tail 0.17. And so our scatter plot shows a somewhat small correlation. And our significant result found. The significant correlation emerged with R equals 0.19, P equals 0.17. The test rejected the null hypothesis and concluded there was a correlation between stocks and wallet. Thank you for watching. Are there any questions? Please email me or send those to myself. And thank you.